Oh wait, he's going to be looking for a ticket to ride out of Denver. Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Sports. I really need to find a better title, but that's what I've got for right now. This week we're going to be talking about the upcoming free agency of the Pittsburgh Steelers and which of their free agents they should target to re-sign. Here's a list of the 21 players that are set to hit free agency on March 15th, and which ones of these I think we should target. I picked 5 names and we'll see how that goes. Christian Kuntz. This one's going to be a gimme. He's a long snapper, and the Steelers typically do year to year with long snappers, but Kuntz has been here since 2019, and the fact that no one really talks about him means he's doing his job properly. This is an easy call. Re-sign him. Probably going to be 1 year for right around the league minimum $1 million. Sticking with special teams captain, Miles Killebrew. Since he came to the Steelers in 2021, he's blocked more punts personally than 31 other teams have. 4. He's tied for second most punts blocked with any other team. His current expiring contract is 2 years for $4 million. That seems like a good range. Maybe play a little bit, bumped up 2 for 5, but as a special teams captain, he sets the example that the younger guys look to. Another easy call. And now it starts to get a little bit more difficult. Levi Wallace. Levi Wallace was signed as a free agent out of Buffalo and was immediately starting at cornerback. I like the signing. It is a good replacement for the unofficially retiring Joe Hayden, paired with the potential of Ahkello Witherspoon, who was good when healthy but was never healthy in Pittsburgh. We were looking good at the pair of corners. Well, we were hoping we had a pair of good corners. Cam Sutton was a chess piece of the slot corner and moved outside as Witherspoon was injured, and Wallace was steady, if unspectacular. Pro Football Focus had him as a 62.8 for 2022, but he's dropped down to 55.1. Now my other rating standard is John Madden Football, which has him at a 77. For comparison, Patrick Peterson is a 63 in PFF, or an 82 on Madden, and Joey Porter Jr. is a 65.8, or a 79. Oh yeah, we had so little faith in Levi that after losing Cam Sutton to the Lions, we signed Patrick Peterson, drafted JPJ in the 2nd round, and Corey Trice in the 7th round. Patrick Peterson has been about as advertised. Joey Porter Jr. has been the best cornerback on the team, shadowing top receivers for the last few weeks, while Corey Trice got hurt in the preseason and will effectively have a redshirt season. So where does that leave us with Wallace? Well, I'm not sure. Joey Porter Jr. is definitely the top guy. Peterson signed the 2-year deal to be a big part of the team. He's currently starting at safety, which shows his flexibility. Trice was looking like a steal of 7th round pick before he got injured. And Wallace? Well, his Pro Football Focus grade has gone down. The massive list of injuries to the defense probably has a good deal to do with that. But is he going to be resigned? I don't think so. With the return of Trice and the growth of Joey Porter Jr., the experience of Patrick Peterson, and the potential of Darius Rush, who was a 5th round pick by the Colts, to step in and be another long cornerback like Joey Porter at 6'2", Trice at 6'3", and Rush at 6'2", it seems to be what defensive coordinator Terrell Austin is looking for. Wallace, at 6 foot, might be on the outside looking in. His original contract for Pittsburgh was for 2 years, $8 million, seems to be fitting if he were to stick around, but would he play? Porter has established himself as one starter. Peterson is fairly established as the other starter, unless they want to move him to safety permanently, but how does his skill set match with Minka's when Minka comes back? But in a nickel situation, Peterson could slide inside and Levi would be on the outside, but is that worth $4 to $5 million for a year? We'll see. I don't see him coming back. We have cheaper and younger players, and as typical, we're going to be up against the cap. Number 4, Montravius Adams. Signed off the Saints practice squad in 2021 and making the immediate impact, because defensive line is one of the easiest to translate, Adams quickly became a key piece of the base defense. The problem is, the Steelers aren't in their base defense very often. According to Steelers Depot, they were in the base defense 24.9% of the time in 2022. And with the prevalence of spread offenses, the Steelers gone to a 4-2 more often than their official 3-4, meaning their D-line group is Cameron Haywood, Larry Ogunjobi, Keanu Benton, DeMarvin Leal, Isaiah Loudermilk, and Montravius Adams. The rookie Benton has been explosive and disruptive, and again, he's just a rookie. Leal has shown flashes of potential. Loudermilk is a solid contributor, but as long as Cam is healthy, he'll be 35 in March, and Larry continues to be the 5th biggest cap hit on the team, they're going to be the starters, leaving Benton, Leal, Adams, and Loudermilk to battle for the scraps. Adams has only played 11 games this year, with 3 missed to injury and 1 as a healthy scratch. He's played 36.1% of the snaps in those games on defense, but what's his contract going to be? Comparable players on Pro Football Focus got 1 to 3 deals between $3.5 and $5 million per year. Is that reasonable? Yes. Is it something the Steelers can afford? Again, I don't think so. We're going to be up against the cap. I see a situation where Larry Ogunjobi gets restructured. Cam might get another extension, it's going to be later video, to get to retirement, whenever that happens to be. Benton and Leal learned from them to be the future of the defensive line, and Adams finds a home on another roster. Coming in at number 5, Mason Rudolph. Decided to save the easiest for the last one. Well, these last couple of weeks have been interesting. He started because of injuries to Kenny Pickett and ineffectiveness, severe ineffectiveness, by Mitch Trubisky. And my goodness, did he finally show while he was a 3rd round pick with, according to Kevin Colbert, a 1st round grade. In 2 games, he's led the Steelers to 64 points, going 35 of 51 for 564 yards and 2 touchdowns. The deep passing game has been dusted off. George Pickens has been brought into focus for 11 catches for 326 in those 2 games, plus his "oh my god, how did he catch that?" amazing catches have shown back up. Pickens was even blocking on a touchdown run in Seattle. Now, what is the future of Mason Rudolph? He is set to start this Saturday at Baltimore, with the potential of the playoffs, at least for us. Baltimore gains nothing with a win and loses nothing with a loss. So maybe they sit Lamar, who is a betting favorite to win a second MVP. Hint, because he stayed healthy. Assuming that Pittsburgh bites the bullet and releases Mitch Trubisky, if they do it with a pre-June 1 designation, is 4.6 dead and 2.9 in relief. Post-June 1 is 2.3 dead with 5.25 in relief. I think they're going to release him. I think they're going to do a post-June 1st release. That puts Kenny and Mitch in a real head-to-head battle going into next year, not the fake 3-way battle they had in 2022. So what's his deal going to be? I see it as a 2-year for either 10 to 15 total. Maybe put some incentives in there. If he starts, he gets closer to 15. But if Mason shows up and shows out in Baltimore, if we get a little bit of help to get into the playoffs, and we go show how Miami has beaten one team with a winning record for the year, but it was the Cowboys, the collective strength of victory for Miami is 352 compared to Pittsburgh 535, which is the highest in the AFC. They'll have a return trip to Baltimore with a trip to the AFC Championship game on the line. But that's enough playoff speculation. Let's return to free agency speculation. Kenny was drafted to be the starter. Mitch was signed beforehand to be a bridge, and Mason has been a consummate professional as a third/emergency quarterback. Kenny's mobility versus Mason deep ball. It'll be interesting to say the least. I think Mason gets some interest from a few teams as an experienced backup, maybe a hint at, hey, he might be able to start. But just to throw some names out there, the Washington Commanders, they're going to have a new coach. It's all but official that Ron Rivera is going to be fired. And as of this year, Sam Howell is not the answer, and they've got some weapons. Atlanta, again, new coach. Arthur Smith is kind of questionable to return next year. And again, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and those receivers. In Atlanta, he would be battling with third-year pro Desmond Ridder and journeyman Tyler Heineke, who has 1 year left on his deal for $9 million, but he could be cut to save $7 million. Minnesota, if Kirk isn't re-signed, it's going to be significantly cheaper for the Vikings to re-sign him than it is just to eat the $28.5 million in dead cap from his void year. And even if it is Kirk will be 36 in August. And again, those weapons, is he willing to take what the Steelers can offer versus what the others can? Now, these numbers are per overthecap.com. The Vikings will have $37 million cap space without doing anything with Kirk. Atlanta's going to have $34 million, but again, who's going to be their coach? Washington's going to have a staggering $81 million in cap space. They have a new ownership, finally, but again, it's all but final that Ron Rivera will not be coaching next year. Now, as far as who his competition in free agency is going to be, the top free agent quarterback is going to be Kirk Cousins. Again, probably not leaving Minnesota. Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, and Baker Mayfield. But Baker's probably not leaving Tampa after the year he's had. Now you can see why a big showing in Baltimore and a decent showing in the playoffs is going to make Mason a lot of money. Maybe not Russell Wilson money. Oh wait, he's going to be looking for a ticket to ride out of Denver. So there it is, a quick 5-pack of the 2024 free agents from the Pittsburgh Steelers that will cause a little bit of talking and arguing, or at least 2 of them will, that can have a major impact on what the Steelers do in the 2024 year and beyond. Thank you for watching, and if you like what I do, please drop a like and subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them in the comments, because that's what we're supposed to tell y'all to do. So, thank you, and I've got another one scheduled for next week.